liquidity, and that causes what is called inflation. And then they start playing around with interest rates and inflation and that sort. But it's all created based on the fact that if there's no goal for citizens to pay money, the only thing that's left is your soul.
Teach women.
And that's when you start getting into the culture aspect of it. I mean, that's when you start dealing with the spirituality of it. So just to keep it in layman's terms, in terms of how commerce works, what it is, this is how it goes together. Commerce is intellectual property. Because intellectual property is based on my idea of saying that this is how I want to typically function. Which our ideas can go against natural law. So if you go against natural law, then it becomes intellectual property, it becomes a fiction. So if I can get you to, if I can contract you out to participate in my fiction, you lose your dollars.
That's exactly what happened. Teach women. Excellent. I'd like you to see this. No, excellent. Excellent.
I know that.
So, there's more playing on liquidation. It's called toxic liquidation. They're talking a lot about toxic bonds. And in the beginning, it sounds like they're trying to tie in, and they're trying to let go of something. So,
because that body, there's a place piece that's over. We talk about collateral damage or worse. That's what the body is going to get out more. They want more body. Keep it going because the body has they're war balls. Yeah. So the war ball, in order for them to finance the war, they have to liquidate the ball. And how do you liquidate the ball? The way to liquidate the ball is by sending troops over to another country and start a war, and then contracting out to private corporations, the government finances private corporations to keep the war going. So the point is that being circulated in offshore accounts where the money is taken out of the United States. Alright, and once the money becomes taken out of the United States, then therefore there is a squeeze on the Fed which raises interest rates.
Right.
So that's why they were continuously $800 billion for the war this week.
It's going on.
$800 billion that they gave to put back into the system. They have to go to the treasury to see. I'm talking about the war. Because everybody forgets. They keep talking about the Wall Street thing, but nobody brings up Bush kept signing all of these $800 trillion, like $2 trillion for war, $800 billion for war this week. You know what I'm saying? You know what they're doing that is because the treasury they're getting the bonds.
Right.
They understand how money is, and the economy is not based on dollar bills, not based on $30 bills, it's based on goods and services. It's based on goods and services. The system, goods and services is supposed to support the banking system. The banking system is not supposed to support goods and services. Right? So the name of the game is for you as an individual to stop liquidating on you creating a surplus to perpetuate the debt. That's when you want to stop perpetuating the debt.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's the same situation that the different so-called third world nations are facing because they have these inflated loans that you can never pay. And as time goes on, it perpetuates more of your enslavement. You could never come out of it. It's like a spider web. I wanted to talk about the two different forms of slavery that I have here. Well, okay, here, two forms of slavery. One is known as the wooden yoke, which made a slave, which they made people a slave in their own land. And this is actually where they're headed for. And then the other one is the iron yoke. This is what happened to a lot of the early slaves that were brought in from Africa, where you transport people off their land and then you enslave them in a foreign land. But what we have approaching is, with this economy, is a wooden yoke, where they're trying to enslave the people in their own land and trying to get them to work off the national debt. The wooden yoke. Those are the two forms of state slavery. And we have to understand that the Social Security Act was created to track the income from the assets of the titles taken from the people in 1933 and thereafter. So, and we also have to understand the role that Paulson played. Paulson is extremely a key person. Number one, he's the Secretary of the Treasury. He's responsible for managing the bankruptcy. He's the trustee on the Social Security Administration. He's the chairperson on the Board of Federal Reserve. And he also has a seat on the IMF, International Monetary Fund. Okay, this one man. And he also, having all these roles means he sits kind of like in the middle of both jurisdiction A and jurisdiction B. But it depends on how you approach it. And that's why in part of the road to being a creditor, that is who you have to contact to open up your treasury account to have access to your prepaid account. It is the Secretary of the Treasury.
And is this speculation, or is it true that he was shot at the beginning of the year? Because they said on the web that he got killed.
Yes.
And then he popped up out of nowhere when this thing fell apart.
Exactly. I heard about that, and I was like sending out an email. And the person on the website it came from, this person has the history of sending out a lot of accurate information. Some say that, he was in fact killed. Because he's just, you have to remember, he's in the middle of this in so many different ways.
So when you look at him, he looks like a clone, like a leader.
Right.
There's no personality or anything in him.
Exactly. And also a lot of this money, all of the corporations that I showed you with how much the CEOs were making, these are all the people that owe, without having to go into it, but I don't know how many people are familiar with the Leo Wanta story, Ambassador Leo Wanta. Right, the $27 trillion that was stolen from him by all of these same people. Okay, and it even went to the court of the International Court of Justice, and they ruled that Bush, Condoleezza, all of them had to give this money back. And there's also international subpoena on all of them. And this is why, they say that Bush had his daughter buy all their property in Paraguay because they have no extradition laws. So all of them, they're stealing all this money and making a way to get out. Just like the same thing with Enron. They, take all your money, collapse the company, and he's on vacation in some small island somewhere. And this is exactly what's happening. But the people keep accepting. And at some point the people have to stop accepting and voice their discontent. Don't agree to be surety. Surety means an insurance policy. So basically the people are being used as an insurance policy for all of this debt that the United States keeps creating. And we have to say something. And a lot of it too is karmic because, they